The situation between Melody and Destiny did not happen suddenly. It was the result of years of broken trust, ignored boundaries, and unresolved hurt that had been building quietly in the background. The moment Destiny decided to approach Melody with an apology, she underestimated how much Melody had changed. Melody was no longer the person who tolerated confusion, excuses, or emotional manipulation. She had reached a place where peace mattered more than reconnecting with people who once caused her pain. Melody had spent a long time rebuilding herself after public heartbreak and personal betrayal. She chose calm over chaos and distance over drama. That growth was visible in the way she moved, spoke, and handled situations. So when Destiny appeared, expecting forgiveness based on words alone, the disconnect became clear immediately. Melody was not interested in reopening wounds or revisiting old arguments. She was focused on protecting the peace she worked hard to create. Destiny seemed to believe that saying sorry would be enough, but apologies do not erase history, they do not undo damage, and they do not fix years of behavior unless there is full accountability behind them. Melody understood this clearly. She was not angry, she was firm. She listened, but she did not bend. That alone showed how far she had come emotionally. The tension between them came from a past filled with rumors, shifting alliances, and moments where loyalty was expected but not given. Melody remembered times when Destiny spoke negatively about her, questioned her honesty, and aligned herself with people who caused Melody emotional harm. These were not small misunderstandings. These were moments that left lasting scars, both personally and publicly. One of the biggest issues Melody addressed was how Destiny handled private matters in public spaces. Calling someone a liar publicly does not fade with time. That label follows a person. It affects how others see them, trust them, and interact with them. Melody made it clear that this was not something she could simply forget or dismiss as a mistake. As the conversation continued, Destiny attempted to explain her actions. She spoke about her feelings, her perspective, and what she believed motivated her behavior. But explanation is not the same as accountability. Melody was not interested in why Destiny did what she did. She wanted acknowledgement of the harm caused without excuses attached. Melody remained calm throughout the exchange. Her tone did not rise. Her words were measured and clear. That calmness did not come from weakness. It came from certainty. She knew exactly where she stood and what she would no longer accept in her life. The moment that truly shifted the conversation was when Destiny's past comment about Melody's mother resurfaced. Bringing family into personal conflict crosses a line that cannot easily be repaired. Melody was visibly affected by this because it showed a lack of respect that went beyond friendship issues. Attacking someone's mother was not only hurtful, it was unnecessary and deeply personal. When confronted about that comment, Destiny admitted that her words were poorly chosen, but once again she tried to justify them. She explained what she meant rather than accepting how they landed. For Melody, that was the breaking point. She made it clear that intent does not erase impact. Hurt does not disappear just because someone claims they meant well. Melody explained that true accountability means accepting responsibility without defending yourself. It means acknowledging pain without redirecting blame. Destiny struggled with this. Her responses moved between regrets and self-protection. She wanted forgiveness, but she also wanted understanding for herself. That difference in mindset highlighted why their friendship could not be repaired. Melody had done the work to heal. Destiny was still focused on being heard rather than truly listening. Melody was setting boundaries. Destiny was pushing against them. This conversation was not about one apology. It was about a pattern. Melody spoke about times when Destiny ended calls with her only to speak with people who were actively working against her. She talked about moments when trust was broken, quietly, repeatedly, and without care for the consequences. Each example reinforced Melody's position. She was not being harsh, she was being honest, and honesty does not always feel comfortable when it exposes truth people are not ready to face. Destiny appeared surprised by Melody's firmness. It was clear she expected more softness, more openness, maybe even reconciliation. But Melody was not there to negotiate. She was there to close a chapter properly. What made the exchange powerful was Melody's control. She did not insult Destiny. She did not raise her voice. She did not attack her character. She simply stated facts and explained how those facts affected her life. That level of composure comes from growth. This confrontation showed that forgiveness does not require access. Melody was willing to acknowledge the apology, but she was not willing to reopen her life to someone who had repeatedly hurt her. That distinction is important. Too often, people confuse forgiveness with reconciliation. Melody proved they are not the same. The aftermath of this moment spread quickly online. People reacted strongly because many could relate to the situation. Friends who return with apologies but no real change. People who minimize harm while asking for understanding. Melody's response resonated because it reflected self-respect. Many praised Melody for choosing herself. They saw strength in her decision to walk away calmly rather than re-engage emotionally. Others focused on Destiny, questioning whether her apology was genuine or motivated by a desire to reconnect publicly. What stood out most was Melody's refusal to be pulled back into chaos. She did not allow emotions to override logic. She did not let nostalgia cloud her judgment. She chose clarity over comfort. The moment marked a clear shift. Melody was no longer reacting to her past, she was responding from a place of awareness. She understood that reopening doors sometimes means reopening pain, and she was not willing to do that again. Destiny, on the other hand, appeared unprepared for this version of Melody. She was used to emotional responses, discussions, and explanations. Instead, she was met with boundaries that did not move. That difference created discomfort, but discomfort is often where truth lives. Melody did not soften her stance to make Destiny feel better. She prioritized her own emotional safety. The conversation revealed something deeper than a broken friendship. It showed how growth changes relationships. When one person evolves and the other stays the same, distance becomes inevitable. Melody's journey from heartbreak to stability did not leave room for people who once contributed to her pain. She did not owe anyone access to her peace. She did not owe forgiveness on demand. As the interaction came to an end, it was clear that Melody had said everything she needed to say. She was not seeking closure from Destiny. She had already found it within herself. The public response continues to grow, with people dissecting every detail and sharing opinions, but Melody remains unmoved. Her silence after the confrontation speaks louder than any explanation ever could. This situation reminds everyone that boundaries are not punishments, they are protection. Choosing peace is not weakness, it is wisdom. Melody's decision shows that healing sometimes means letting go permanently. It means accepting that some relationships belong to the past and should stay there. In a world where drama is often rewarded, Melody chose dignity. Where chaos is encouraged, she chose calm. And in doing so, she showed that walking away can be the strongest move a person can make. This was not about revenge. It was about self-respect. And that is why the moment mattered so much. Some doors are not meant to reopen, and Melody made it clear that this was one of them. One of the most important points Melody made was that time alone does not heal relationships. Silence does not erase harm. Distance does not equal resolution. Healing requires acknowledgement and change. And from Melody's perspective, the necessary change had not happened. Destiny appeared to want a reset. She wanted to move forward without fully addressing the past. But Melody knew that moving forward without repair only leads back to the same place. She had already been down that road. She was not willing to repeat it. This moment also showed how personal growth can feel threatening to others. When someone sets firm boundaries, it forces others to face their own behavior. Destiny was confronted with a version of Melody who could no longer be swayed, guilted, or softened. That shift was uncomfortable, but it was necessary. Melody made it clear that forgiveness, if it ever came, would be internal. It would not come with access, trust, or renewed closeness. That distinction is often misunderstood. People expect forgiveness to restore relationships. Melody showed that forgiveness can exist alongside distance. As the conversation wrapped up, there was no dramatic ending, no final argument, just an understanding that the chapter was closed. Melody had said what she needed to say. Destiny had heard what she may not have wanted to hear. The weight of that moment carried beyond the room. People who later learned about the exchange recognized its significance. It was not just about two individuals. It was about self-worth, boundaries, and emotional survival. Many people see themselves in Melody's response. They understand what it feels like to outgrow relationships that once mattered deeply. They know the pain of realizing that love or history is not enough to sustain a connection built on broken trust. This situation also challenges the idea that strong women must always explain themselves. Melody did not over-explain. She did not apologize for protecting herself. She did not soften her words to appear more acceptable. She stood firm without being cruel. Destiny, on the other hand, was left to sit with the reality of the moment. Her apology had been acknowledged, but not accepted in the way she expected. That can be a difficult lesson, but it is an important one. Apologies do not guarantee access, regret does not guarantee repair, and time does not guarantee reconciliation. Melody's response showed that sometimes the most respectful thing you can do for yourself is to walk away calmly, not out of anger, but out of understanding. As public discussion continues, opinions will differ. Some will argue that everyone deserves a second chance. Others will say Melody did the right thing by protecting her peace. But what cannot be denied is that Melody made her decision from a place of strength, not fear. This moment will likely be remembered not for the drama, but for the boundary, for the quiet power of saying no without explanation. Melody did not reject destiny to hurt her. She rejected the cycle that once hurt her. That distinction changes everything. In choosing herself, Melody showed that healing is not about pleasing others. It is about honoring yourself. And sometimes the bravest choice is not forgiveness, it is closure.